方愿在陕西省设立上海合作组织农业技术交流培训示范基地，加强同地方国家现代农业领域合作。
2019年6月，习近平主席在上海合作组织成员国元首理事会第19次会议上提出建设上合组织农业基地的重大倡议。农业农村部、外交部、科技部等国家部委迅速响应，陕西省委省政府高位推动，杨凌示范区狠抓落实，区校融合一体推进。3年多来，以上合组织农业基地为依托，中国与上合组织国家农业交流合作结出丰硕成果。基地成为首个上合组织共商共建共享的农业交流合作平台。上合组织秘书长张明、原秘书长莫罗夫对基地建设给予了高度评价。如今，一幅立足中国、辐射上合、联动周边、面向全球的国际农业交流合作新图景，正在以山西杨凌为轴，在上合组织国家大地上徐徐展开。成功举办4届上合组织现代农业发展圆桌会议，第12届金砖国家农业部长会议暨金砖国家农村发展和减贫研讨会，上合组织粮食安全研讨会，上合组织青年科技创新减贫合作与乡村发展论坛，上合组织农业博览会等多项国际交流活动，开辟了农业领域合作磋商新机制。中非现代农业技术交流示范和培训联合中心启动建设，开启了对非农业合作新篇章。中国上海合作组织研究中心、中国国际问题研究中心、国务院发展研究中心、中国社科院、上合组织现代农业发展研究院、上合组织国家农学高校联盟等专家机构，为农业交流合作提供智库支撑。围绕农业节水灌溉、农作物病虫害防治、设施农业发展等主题，不断创新和深化农业技术培训。3年多来，举办面向上合组织国家的农业技术专题讲座30余期，3.1万人次在线学习。依托西北农林科技大学、杨凌职业技术学院、上合组织现代农业发展研究院、现代农业国际联合实验室等科研力量，为上合组织国家培训农业官员1100余名，培训农业减贫人才300余名，培养留学生300余名，联合培养职教学生100余名。现代农业发展中国智慧中国方案正在不断惠及上合组织国家人民。围绕汉区农业发展，先后建成中乌、中哈、中吉等10个农业科技创新园和产业示范园。杨凌良种和配套栽培技术走出国门，110多个农作物优良品种和栽培技术集成示范，海外推广辐射面积3000多万亩。秦创园创新驱动平台农业板块全链条推进成果转化，以种业创新中心为主的6大产业创新中心，聚集了先正达、隆平高科、五花集团、麦肯集团、大禹节水等国内外知名企业。杨凌智慧农业示范园、洛川苹果、金鹏种业、沙能奶山羊等20个实训基地，集产学研用于一体，为上合组织国家现代农业发展提供示范样板。上合组织农业基地加杨凌自贸片区加农业综保区2区1基地的政策叠加优势不断彰显。上合组织农产品加工物流园加快建设，上合农业基地经贸投资促进中心、塔什干商品交易中心、上合生活馆、京东俄罗斯国家馆、杨凌跨境商品展示交易中心等投入运营。杨凌农高会、丝博会、上合组织农博会交易活跃，成果丰硕，推动陕西苹果等特色农产品搭载中欧班列远销上合。爱菊农产品加工物流园新型订单农业合作模式， 让更多上合组织国家优质农产品走进中国，成为农业产能合作的典范。建好上合组织农业基地，既是杨凌示范区在更高层次履行国家使命的重大机遇，也是陕西深度融入共建“一带一路”大格局的政治责任。我们将在协调机制各部委的指导支持下，高标准抓好各项工作，为上合组织国家现代农业发展做出新的更大贡献。
上合组织农业基地在杨凌示范区落地建设3年多来，在构建农业技术交流平台、开展农业生产培训示范、推动农业产业务实合作等方面取得了不错成果，受到了上合组织各国的普遍欢迎。基地实现了从重大倡议到重大平台，从愿景规划到现实成果的突破性进展。新征程上，基地将在上合组织秘书处的指导下，在各成员国以及联合国、亚太经社会等有关国际组织的大力支持下，紧紧围绕农业技术交流培训示范的功能定位，积极构建立足中国辐射上合、联动周边、面向全球的农业国际合作新格局，为推进地区现代农业发展、助力全球粮食安全提供养领方案，贡献养领力量。同时，也诚挚地邀请各界朋友莅临杨凌示范区考察指导，共享基地建设发展机遇，共创农业合作美好未来。
Good afternoon, dear colleagues, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure today to see all of you here at a very important side event, which which Shanghai Cooperation Organization organizing jointly with ESCAP. And today my name is Nikolai Pomoshnikov. I am head of ESCAP's Aboriginal Office for North and Central Asia, and it is my pleasure to moderate today's this side event. In addition to the participants which we have in the room today, we also have a lot of attendees joining us online. Kindly note that this event will be recorded. Without any further ado, let us begin our side event. And it is my great honor to introduce our first distinguished speaker in the opening session. This is United Nations Under-Secretary General and Executive Secretary of ESCAP, Ibu Armida Salcia Aleshakbana. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Nikolai. A very good afternoon to all colleagues, especially to SG, Mr. Jiang Min, SG of SCO, Ambassador Nagesh Singh of India, as well as colleagues, distinguished participants. It is indeed my great pleasure to welcome you all to this very important side event, the theme of which is on enabling food system transformation through climate-smart agri-innovation. And of course, we are very pleased, delighted to collaborate here with SCO to co-organize this event. And as all of you are aware, the world today is in the middle of a climate emergency, and hence our topic, theme topic, is on climate action. Again, at the same time, also disaster struck our region. Oftentimes, many countries in our region is very vulnerable to disaster. So hence this nexus, climate disaster nexus, as well as the climate food security, as well as energy sort of nexus. Again, if I may, the impact of all of this, oftentimes are with the most vulnerable segment of the society, including the rural communities. And in the case of food security issues, the impact, of course, will be significant on the livelihoods of the most vulnerable rural communities, including smallholders, women farm workers, and the underserved rural youth, who are already among those being left furthest behind. So just would like to underline those segments of the society. And at the same time, food systems are also key driver to climate change. And hence this nexus, climate and food nexus. Around 1/4 of Asia's greenhouse gas emission come from the agri-food sector. And 75% of forest area loss in Asia Pacific is due to conversion to cropland. So therefore, against this backdrop, the Food System Summit convened by the UNSG in 2021 rightly highlighted that transforming food systems is very important to achieving SDGs, as well as realizing the much better world that we envision together. Transformation of food system, however, requires a fundamental shift away from the so-called BAU, business as usual. And just would like to highlight 3 points here, quickly. The first point is that we need a core focus on agri-innovation for new technologies to help us grow more with less, reduce emissions, preserve the natural resource base, and build resilience. And second, that we require not just smart solution and so-called fourth industrial revolution technologies like AI, robotics, big data, and so on, but also, yes, simple, low-cost and farmer-led innovations is certainly critical to scaling up sustainable and inclusive agricultural development. So in this context also, we have one of our regional institute, which is based in Beijing, popularly known as CSAM, which is a Center for Sustainable Agricultural Mechanization, which has been actively supporting our member state to advance mechanization-based climate-smart solution for food system transformation. And the third point is, besides technological solutions, innovation for improved institutional models, cross-sectoral approaches, and multi-stakeholder partnership are equally important. So this is governance, yeah? The governance element, the institution building, capacity building is also equally important. Also, I would like to again highlight the importance of regional and international cooperation. Oftentimes it's overlooked, but again, on this particular areas, issues, food system transformation and the nexus with climate change, no one country can do it alone. So therefore, regional and international cooperation is of utmost importance. So therefore, today's event marks an important step in which ESCAP strategic partnership with SCO within the framework of MOU that I signed with ST at last year SCO summit in Samarkand. So would like very much and looking forward to further deepening the collaboration, partnership, and this side event is one small step into that direction. So with that, I would like to end my remarks, but just again to reintroduce, CSAMS, CSAMS in Beijing, which again our regional institute that is working on this agriculture, smart mechanization, and so on, and looking forward to deepening the collaboration with all of you, our partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ibu Armida, for your welcome remarks, highlighting the importance of agri-innovation for our region and ESCAP ongoing partnership with Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And now I'm happy to give the floor to Shanghai Cooperation Organization Secretary General, His Excellency Ambassador Jiang Ming. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Nikolai. Your Excellency Armida, Your Excellency Ambassador Nagesh Singh, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. At the outset, please allow me to thank, on behalf of the SCO Secretariat, Madame Armida Alisabana, for inviting me to the 79th session of the ESCAP, and for the initiative to co-hosting this parallel event on the sidelines. I would like to thank India, the rotating chair of the SCO, and representatives of the SCO demonstration base for agricultural technology exchange and training, and the ESCAP Center for Sustainable Agricultural Mechanization for their support and participation in the preparation for this event. Since the inception of the SCO, ESCAP has been an active partner for cooperation. The two organizations signed a memorandum of understanding to legally define their official cooperative relationship. Last year, the two sides renewed the MOU and expanded priority areas of cooperation, which further boosted our cooperation. The fact that so many renowned international and international experts are invited to this event today is an example in the implementation of our consensus. It is fair to say that the SCO Secretariat has actively engaged in exchanges with international and regional organizations and has accumulated rich experience. In light of the theme of the 79th session of ESCAP on the climate agenda and the priorities on the SCO agenda, today's side event focuses on sustainable development of food systems in the context of climate change, which is highly relevant to our shared region and the whole world. We also hope that today's event will reaffirm the importance of multilateral cooperation and innovation in achieving the sustainable development goals. As home to nearly half of the world's population, the SCO attaches great importance to the issue of climate change, with a special attention to food security, as it is one of the most important conditions for the well-being of the people and economic development. At the Samahan Summit last year, the SCO Heads of State adopted a joint statement on combating climate change and upholding food security, in which they reaffirmed their determination to cooperate in tackling the challenges of climate change, and called for joint efforts to ensure regional and global food security. To achieve this goal, SCO member states are implementing a number of strategic documents, such as the concept of cooperation on smart agriculture and agriculture innovation, and the SCO Green Belt Plan, and the partnership between the SCO and Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, is developing steadily. Well, guided by the Shanghai spirit, the SCO is striving to make tangible contribution to global sustainable development as a responsible participant in international and regional affairs. I hope that all participants of this special event will actively offer ideas on the theme and put forward more practical suggestions for the SCO and ESCAP member states. I wish the meeting a complete success and all of you fruitful work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellency, for your enlightening remarks. And it is now my honor to introduce our distinguished speaker from the chair country of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary and Permanent Representative of India to ESCAP, His Excellency Mr. Nagesh Singh. The floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Madam Executive Secretary, Your Excellency Mr. Chang Min, Secretary General of the SCO, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this ESCAP SCO side event on enabling food systems transformation through climate-smart agri-innovation. The theme of today's event is timely and most relevant for all of us. The impact of climate change on agriculture is evident, and no country is immune from its threat, either directly or through a cascading cycle. As the current chair of the SCO, India is focused on initiatives that would be beneficial for all SCO member states and beyond. Agriculture is a vital sector for our economies and societies, given the large size of our population, which is dependent on agriculture for work and livelihood. Members, observers, and dialogue partners of the SCO include countries that are highly vulnerable to the impact of climate change. They have been suffering from frequent droughts and floods, land degradation, soil salinity, and overgrazing, all of which are undermining agricultural production and sustainability. It is important for the SCO membership to promote agri-innovation that can address the challenges posed by climate change. We need to further promote investment in research and development for suitable agricultural technologies and strengthen extension services in order to ensure that everyone can benefit from agricultural innovation. We also need to encourage active exchange of knowledge, innovation, and best practices amongst ourselves. India gives importance to its relations with SCO in promoting multilateral political, security, economic, and people-to-people exchanges. In order to maintain a robust food supply chain, there is need for close cooperation between various countries for food and nutrition security. Towards actualization of this goal, India attaches great importance to the development of a multifaceted cooperation within the SCO. India, as a full member of the SCO in the last 6 years, has reaffirmed its keen interest to build upon our historical linkages and utilize the potential to further deepen the partnerships in all relevant areas of mutual interest, especially agriculture and its sustainability. Agricultural research and extension plays an important role in solving the issue of food security, nutrition, and improving the incomes of farmers and agricultural workers in our countries. Concerted efforts in innovation, digital agriculture, climate-smart technologies, development of high-yielding biofortified varieties, and agricultural research are needed by the countries in the group to attain self-reliance and self-sufficiency in the agriculture sector. India, as chair of SCO, hosted SCO Millet Food Festival dedicated to promotion of millets, which are considered as a superfood and are immune to vagaries of climate change. And this was India's initiative. I mean, I know the UN General Assembly has also declared it as the International Years of the Millets. In addition, the SCO member states are actively working on adopting the practice of smart agriculture. The action plan to implement the concept of interaction of member states on smart agriculture is under consideration. In order to meet the challenges of sustaining domestic food production in the face of changing climate, the Indian Council of Agricultural Research has launched a flagship network project called National Innovations in Climate Resilient Agriculture. This project aims to develop and promote climate-resilient technologies in agriculture for addressing vulnerable areas of the country and to help the districts and regions prone to droughts, floods, frost, heat waves, etc., to cope with such extreme weather conditions. Given India's large size, we have all sorts of ecosystems, and it can be a good model for for lessons learned, etc. Because in the country of our size, all weather systems, all climate systems exist. This project has also developed several resilient technologies to mitigate climate change, like the resilient intercropping systems, conservation agriculture, crop diversification, agroforestry systems, alternate methods of rice cultivation, green manuring, integrated farming systems, etc. These technologies can be very helpful in the ESCAP-SCO region towards enabling food systems transformation by leveraging climate-smart agri-innovation. We can also gain by incentivizing the provinces and subnational units to promote usage of alternate fertilizers and balanced use of chemical fertilizers. In addition, for promotion of agricultural mechanization in India, a scheme called Submission on Agricultural Mechanization is being implemented through the state governments, which provide financial assistance to certain categories of farmers for purchase of agricultural machinery. I am happy to share with you that the 8th meeting of the Agriculture Ministers of SCO member states our member countries, was held on May 12th in New Delhi under the chairmanship of India's Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister. During the meeting, SCO member countries have adopted a smart agricultural action plan, which is a very welcome development. In conclusion, I thank the UN ESCAP and SCO for hosting this joint event and for inviting me to participate and put forth India's perspective and also our perspective as the rotating chair of the SCO on deepening the engagement with SCO and its partners on this issue of vital importance to all our countries. And I wish everyone a very fruitful discussion in the time ahead. Thank you, Madam Chair.
On behalf of all participants, let me express our profound gratitude to you, Ibu Armida, to Excellencies John Ming and Nagesh Singh for gracing the opening session of this side event and sharing their insights on the importance of enabling food systems transformation through climate smart agri-innovation, and as well as their vision on how we can achieve our shared objective. This concludes our opening session, and I am now pleased to invite Dr. Yutong Lee, head of ESCAP Center for Sustainable Agricultural Mechanization, CISAN, to moderate the following panel discussion. Over to you.
Thank you, Nikolai, and it is my great pleasure to moderate the panel discussion on innovative approaches and technologies for climate-smart agriculture. In this session, we have distinguished panelists who will share the experiences and the good practices and bring interesting perspectives on innovative approaches and technologies for climate-smart agriculture. We have the first speaker, Dr. Fan Junliang, expert of Shanghai Cooperation Organization Demonstration Base for Agriculture Technology Exchange and Training, and professor of Northwest Agriculture and Forestry University of China. Our second speaker is Mr. Arina Salatina, private sector expert in cold chain supply and food processing equipment from Kazakhstan. Our third speaker is Dr. Hafiz Muminjanov, technical advisor of Plant Production and Protection Division of FAO. Fourth speaker is Dr. Aziz Nobekov, professor of Tashkent State Agrarian University of Uzbekistan. We also have joining us on the podium Dr. Katinka Webinger, Chief of Environment and Development Division of ESCAP. First, I would like to invite Dr. Fan Junliang for his presentation on high-tech solutions for dryland farming, which is a critical area as water resources for agriculture come under increasing stress due to climate change. In this session, for each presentation in this session, it's 7 minutes. So Dr. Fan, you have the floor, please.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's really my honor to be here today and share the high-tech solutions for dryland farming. So this is the outline of my presentation today. So as we all know, the Asia and Pacific region supports about 60% of the global population and has the largest agricultural share around the world. dryland farming is important in supporting local economies and food security. However, the dryland farming has been and will be further affected by climate change. According to the 6th assessment report of IPCC, the temperature has been increased greater compared to the global means in this region. And in the future, this region will be the highest impacted by heavy precipitation and followed by agricultural drought and heat waves. Besides, this region also is a great contributor to greenhouse gas emission in the world. Therefore, the high-tech solutions has to be required to ensure the food security and mitigate the climate change. Soil water evaporation from the dryland system accounts for about 60 to 70% of water loss. Therefore, soil water conservation by innovative mulching practice can be a very important way to increase food productivity in dryland farming. So here I have two examples, which are the right field rainwater harvesting and plastic field mulching. And another one is about degradable and permeable plastic field mulching. Both of these methods can ensure the infiltration of rainfall, especially the small rainfall events, and reduce the soil evaporation, and finally improve the crop productivity. And the second example is the 4-in-1 rainwater harvesting for supplemental irrigation. As we all know, the rainwater is the main water source for dryland farming. So making full use of the limited rainwater resources is an important solution for dryland farming. So in this system, the surface runoff water will be stored in a reservoir from the gully dam, which is then can be lifted by the solar pumping system and stored in tanks or in ponds, which is then be used to irrigate the crops by using some water-saving irrigation methods such as the self-pressured drip irrigation or solar-powered sprinkler irrigation. Combined with the Internet of Things, sensor technology, and AI, intelligent irrigation and fertilization system can be also realized. The third one is the crop water and nitrogen monitoring and diagnosis by remote sensing, because the water content and nitrogen standards from the crops are the preconditions for precision irrigation and fertilization. So in this case, we can use a UAV-based multispectral and thermal remote sensing to monitor and diagnose the water and nitrogen standards in the dryland farming system. Besides, combined with the satellite remote sensing, we can also get a larger scale distribution of the crop water stress index or the nitrogen nutrition status index, which can provide very important information to precision irrigation and fertilization management in dryland farming. As we all know, the dryland farming is also greatly impacted by the outdated practice and especially machinery. So application of the intelligent agricultural machinery in dryland farming can greatly make the dryland farming efficiently and reduce our labor costs. For example, the terrace adaptive plowing machine can be used in the sloping terrace and improve our efficiency. And the seeding machine with emergency irrigation and the drills for fertilization, spraying in larger scale, and also the unmanned harvesting machine and the fruit picking robots can be used efficiently harvest our fruits. So for better development of our sustainable agriculture production, the government has to increase the public investment for high-tech solution development and research. Besides, it has to make intensive policies to encourage the farmers to apply these high-tech solutions. Furthermore, agriculture education and training has to be done for technology extension in the dryland farming. We have to also strengthen our early warning systems of the extreme weather events, such as droughts and heat waves. Breeding climate change-ready crop varieties is also an important way for dryland farming, and especially developing of the digital and smart mechanization technology are the greatest ways in the future, I guess. So finally, for all the countries in the Asian and Pacific countries, has to collaborate together and share their agriculture knowledge and technologies for mutual development in dryland farming. Yeah, that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fan, for bringing these important perspectives. Our next speaker is Ms. Irina Salatina from Kazakhstan, who will bring some interesting insights on modern and climate-smart food supply chains. As our region experiences extreme weather and variations in temperature and humidity, the functioning of supply chains become vital for food and nutrition security, as well as livelihoods. So, Ms. Salatina, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. I am Irina Salatina, expert in cold chain supply and food processing equipment. I am delighted to be with you today to share some moments of my 18 years experience. In this presentation, I am going to walk you through some of the best practices in the field of cold chain supply. Let's get started. Presentation consists of three main topics: pre-harvest procedures, innovation in cold chain supply, and processing equipment. There are some main global problems of food safety, and number one, climate change. For example, climate in Central Asia is sharp continental. It's getting more hot and dry. That negatively affects the amount of harvest and product quality. High temperature during harvest affects the cooling process. Losses in the orchards because of violation of agricultural technologies and violation of harvest time. Losses in the storage because of old technologies and old equipment. Unfortunately, farmers don't have enough knowledge how to fight current problems. Very often, farmers faced with financing problems. We must remember that storage is not a hospital for fruits and vegetables. There are some main critical moments before storage, and number one, place of growing. If we plant apples in a desert, it would take huge investment, and final price of apples would be incredibly high. That's why we have to follow agricultural and biosphere zoning. They must use precision agricultural technology and smart farming. The correct harvest time is very important. Fruits must be neither unripe nor overripe. Unripe fruits have low immunity, and overripe fruits are not a subject for long-term storage. And finally, storage itself must be built according to modern technologies. So let's turn our attention to equipment and management and cold chain supply. They have to follow clean production and environment protection principles, which are environmentally friendly refrigerants, energy-saving systems, automation systems, innovative technologies of storage, and professional storage management. Modern storage must be equipped with cooling compressors, with ozone-friendly refrigerants, with ODP0 or natural agents as hydrocarbons, ammonia or CO2. Main benefit of using this technology: reduce environmental contamination and preservation of ozone layer, and reduce global warming potential. In cold chain supply, we use energy-saving systems, such as alternative energy source, for example, solar panels for small mobile containers to cool down product in the fields, high technological equipment, for example, special evaporators that don't take moisture from fruits, insulation and temperature preservation systems, such as insulation panels and gas-tight doors. Main benefit: reduce energy costs, increase storage period, and keeping top quality products. Storage process must be operating with automation systems with various sensors, high rate of O2, CO2, temperature control, humidity control, and FLN index. Main benefit: strict product quality control, saving labor's cost, and getting high-quality fresh products. For long-term storage, we use temperature, ventilation, high rate of humidity, and modern technologies of storage, such as ultra-low oxygen system, dynamic control atmosphere, and MCP1 for regulation of ripening process. Main benefit: long-term storage with minimum product losses, prolonged shelf life of fresh products after storage. An example of very successful project is LLP Fresh Fruit Kazakhstan. They have a full production cycle from cultivation to processing. They follow all modern technologies and have highest results. For 9 months of storage, product losses are down to 1% due to gas-tight rooms and high-quality insulation. For 3 months of storage, equipment needed to be operated for 72 hours only. The main issue: to cool down products immediately after harvest. For different products, we use pre-cooling mobile containers to cool product in the field, fast cooling for stone fruits, hydro cooling for cherry and asparagus, polyflex system to store different products in one room, which are palletized and have individual control atmosphere on every pallet. Main benefit: reduce energy consumption, keeping products quality. Storage must be efficiently planned with different functional zones, with exact internal logistic. Cooling zone with high quality insulation, loading unloading area with dock shelter system and automatic distribution, sorting and packing area with automatic grading and packing line. Main benefit: reduce energy costs, increase efficiency and speed of loading and unloading to meet international standards of marketing and commercial quality control of fresh products. During transportation, we have exact control of temperature on every transportation stage. Trucks must be equipped with cooling and data logger system. Main benefit of using this technology: to keep high-quality fresh products and minimize losses. Let's turn to the next topic, which is the processing equipment. To avoid losses, we use processing equipment to get more from fruits which cannot be sold fresh. For example, processing line to produce natural juices and puree, stationary line or mobile line to produce juice exactly in the field, drying chambers with heat recovery system to save up to 70% of energy. Main benefit: minimize general losses in the fields and storage and release more profit. So, how to promote and implement high technologies? There are two main factors. The first: education. Increase knowledge, invite professionals for training and seminars, visit professional world exhibition, and create demonstration project. The second: financial support, government grants and state subsidies, low-rate loan, single agricultural tax, set up industrial cooperatives and clusters, involve international financing consulting organizations, and partnership for partial financing. To conclude, I'd like to say, caring of environment, using innovations and high technologies, we can save our planet. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have found this session useful.
Thank you, Ms. Salatina, for framing this issue so clearly. Thank you. Our next speaker, Dr. Hafiz Muminjanov from FAO, will share his views on innovations in conservation agriculture. As we all know that conservation agriculture is among the very important approaches for low carbon and climate resilient agriculture. So Dr. Muminjanov, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to present the topic. And first, I would like to thank UNESCAP and SEO for organizing this interesting event and for the opportunity. I also would like to thank you for your time and interest. Conservation agriculture is innovation by farmers. And farmers innovated this approach, and there are lots of followers and supporters of conservation agriculture, or CA, as we use the abbreviation. And I would like to welcome you all to the CA community, and again, thank you on behalf of CA community for your interest. Why farmers innovated CA? Is to respond to the current and emerging challenges related to the climate change. So we know that lands are degraded, soil are eroded, sandstorms, desertification, and also in parallel, the price for agriculture inputs are increasing, and governments also focusing to commit to the international agreements and focus on more sustainable production. So most of us are coming from the rural areas, and we know that our farming system was based on the conventional agriculture that applies mainly plowing and burning the residues. And even some nations have proverbs that if you are a farmer, you have to plow. So plowing and burning, they were contributing to the climate change. They were issuing the soil erosion, facilitating loss of CO2 and soil organic matter, air and water pollution, compaction of the soil, and also destructing or degradation biodiversity. FAO describes the three interlinked principles of conservation agriculture, or CA, as follows. The first principle is stop plowing, minimal soil disturbance. So we do no-till, zero-till, placement of seeds directly and fertilizer. The second principle is that soil should be covered by organic matter. We should retain the residue or grow cover crops. And the third principle is diversify the cropping system or crop rotation. Instead of monocropping or continuously growing the same crop, we have to diversify. We have to grow at least 3 different species in the crop rotation. So this will help to prevent soil erosion, improve soil health and fertility, followed by increase of crop yield and farmers' income. So in theory and practice, so CA is moving from mechanical soil tillage to biological soil tillage. So we let earthworm and other microbiological processes existing in the soil to work and to help us to provide good facilities or environment for growing crops. So in general, what benefits do we expect from CA? First of all, as I mentioned, it reduces soil erosion. It improves soil health, structure, water infiltration. It reduces CO2 emission and contributes to climate change mitigation. And here I would like to mention that even the Undersecretary of UN, Undersecretary General, Ms. Ibu Armida mentioned about contribution of agri-food system to the climate change. So here agriculture should not be only the causing the climate change, and also should find a solution, should be a solution. One of the solution is CA as a climate smart approach. And if we apply CA, then we will apply less fertilizer, less pesticide, less energy and less labor, and it will increase farmers' income. Around the world, more than CA is applied as globally in more than 205 million hectares, and it is about 15% of cropland. And in Asia, the champions are China, Kazakhstan, India, Pakistan. So different organizations established and helping promoting CA. In this region, we have about 18 million hectares practicing CA, and we have a CA Alliance for Asia and Pacific region. Also, innovation was on how to create the proper machines, having spare parts for cutting residues, for planting. Also, some hand planters, small-scale planters are innovated for moving and rolling and residues. And our recommendation for future, we rely on your support. We rely on the government support to develop proper policies, strategies, and to demonstrate, upscale, and document the success stories, and also provide proper institutional and legal framework for promoting of CA, providing incentives, like in case of China and Kazakhstan. It was practiced, and it was CA was widely spread, and also capacity building is very important. So at the end, with a few remarks, I would like to invite you to the first ever FAO Global Conference on Sustainable Agriculture Mechanization. That's planned at the end of September this year. I would be very happy to see you all in Rome. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward for the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Muminjanov. This has given us a wider perspective on our topics. Our first speaker in the session is Dr. Aziz Nobakov from Uzbekistan, who will share his views on building climate resilience in livestock and fodder management. Once again, this sector is vital for both climate change mitigation and adaptation in agriculture, especially in the context of land degradation. So, Dr. Mubakov, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to thank for the organizers giving me opportunity to make a presentation in this very important event, because climate change is facing, and climate change, we are facing a problem of climate change everywhere. So, if we talk about climate change in Uzbekistan, so we are already facing the climate change. So, as you can see from this slide, in different parts of Uzbekistan, the temperature increase is very visible. And also, if in the long run, climate change by 2100 will be increase. This temperature will increase 3.7 centigrade. So in this case, we need a different this scenario, different practices to overcome this climate change in the country. What kind of expectations we do have now? So if this climate change become more feasible, then we can reduce our forage production. In this case, we can also reduce our land production. And the World Bank Group says that Uzbekistan is vulnerable for climate change. So that's why. So there will be the days with high temperature will be increased, and there is also this greater variability in precipitation. And also, if there is a CO2 concentration is doubled, then this water loss in Amudarya and Sirdarya will be about 27% accordingly. And when we talk about livestock sector in Uzbekistan, so almost this 40% of livestock contribution to GDP of agriculture in Uzbekistan. And this 4.7 million Deccan farmers are producing this livestock in Uzbekistan. So that's why we mostly work with farmers or the Deccan farmers. These are we can say that households or the backyard holders. And there is increase in meat production, mostly in beef production, And also there is increase for the others, this chicken or fish in different meats. But as you can see from here that there is decrease in land production because of this pasture degradation. So in this case, we need a real climate resilience approaches. So the livestock farming uses the largest amount of land in Uzbekistan, with over 50% of the land area used as a desert and mountain pastures. And here, so we need improved animal flocks, which can address climate change issues in the country. And also important to introduce improved varieties of heat and drought tolerant fodder crops. The varieties, also hybrids of these crops, and also best agronomic practices and crop rotation should use for coping with climate change issues. And there is also need a good pasture rotation system. And we should also diversify our production system in livestock. Because now we are using this karakul pelts, karakul sheep for the pelts, but now we can use them also for milking. So through this diversification, we can also address many climate change issues. And also there is a need this different production system in livestock. For example, production of rams. This improved rams can improve the flock, this improvement of flock, and so these different good rams share with the community to increase their productivity. And also they have mohair goats. Mohair goats also very important to diversify livestock production in the country. And improved and resilient tillage practices are important. So we can use this good forage crops, and also different tillage system can be used, and different forage crops like this veg, a profitable option to share stable, increase carrying capacity and productivity over mechanical fallow. Alley cropping is very important when we say this climate change resilience initiatives. So we can use this land for grazing. We can use this land for produce forage crops. And also alley cropping is existing system in the country, because we are using in different way alley cropping, but now we should increase best management practices in the alley cropping. So we should use this fodder, and also we should use different tillage practices, or like a conservation agriculture or sustainable production systems. And also it is very important rangeland management and this rotation of this summer and winter ranges. And also it is a very important rehabilitating of rangelands. So with the preceding of this different rangeland plants, kochia, halaxlon kochia, and saltwort. And seed islands. Seed islands also important, because we don't use any mechanization for seed production of these pasture crops. And now we should also think about this new equipment for fodder crops. It is very important that now we can use small corn harvester or hair chopper, fodder grain chopper, or fodder thresher. So there are some different recommendations. There is a need to support improved pasture rotation and rehabilitation practices. And also there is a need to cooperate with research institutions between the scientists of Livestock Research Institute, Mechanization and Pasture and Fodder Management Research Institute. And also we are going to develop, there should be a development of mechanization, agricultural mechanization strategy in the country. And also, so we need increased financial flows and investments in livestock production and fodder management in order to address climate change challenges in the country. And we can also introduce comprehensive nationwide policy for climate change adaptation. Thank you very much for your attention and for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Novakov, for sharing your very interesting and practical approaches. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, so I'm not able to take questions from the audience. So moving on, we'd like to invite Dr. Katinka Weinbinger, Chief of Environment and Development Divisions of ASCAP, to deliver the closing remarks. Katinka, please.
Thank you very much, Yutong. And in fact, thank you to all of the panelists for these super interesting presentations, which in my mind all drove home one very important message, and that is the importance of food systems for climate action in the Asia-Pacific region. We had also heard in the opening session that the agri-food sector is responsible for at least 1/4, some estimations even go up to 1/3, of Asia's global greenhouse gas emissions. So it's quite obvious that without adopting low carbon development pathways, we cannot achieve net zero by 2050, or in fact, the food systems transformation that is envisaged by the global community, that was envisaged by the global community at the Food Systems Summit in 2021. To facilitate such low carbon development pathways, technological and institutional innovation is vital. So it leaves me with great hope that today we saw such an enriching array of innovations and good practices in agriculture, in supply chains, and livestock management. And we saw how these examples, of these innovations from this very diverse range of stakeholders can both bring benefits to the agri-food sector and help tackle the climate emergency. But the challenge that really remains is how to translate this potential that we saw into large-scale impact. And in my mind, we have 3 key takeaways from today's session on how that could be achieved. Firstly, and I think we've heard that throughout the 2 days of the Commission already, we do need adequate financing, capacity development, and policy support. All of these are really important elements that can help to provide an enabling environment for climate-smart agri-innovation to take place and to realize its potential for transforming agri-food systems. Secondly, agri-innovation should not only be impactful, but also inclusive. And we should ensure that emerging technologies and approaches that enhance productivity, resilience, and sustainability also improves the lives of smallholders and other resource-poor farmers, women farm workers, and the elderly in the workforce. And finally, we need multi-stakeholder partnerships and regional collaboration, as well as cooperation, and also the regional platforms to facilitate these. We are at the midway point in the road to 2030, and it is important for all member states and stakeholders to reinforce their collective efforts to overcome climate-related and other challenges, and to make sure that we truly leave no one behind. So thank you again for this opportunity, and back to Dr. Lee. Thank you.
Thank you, Katinka. And thanks again to all the speakers and the panelists. This concludes our side event, and I thank you, our in-person and online participants, for your interest and for staying with us until this point. I also invite all the online participants to complete the event feedback form using the link which has been circulated in the Zoom chat. I now declare the side event closed, and I look forward to collaborating with you in the future. Thank you very much.